Hey, and welcome to the Jessica Paul podcast. I'm your host, Jess Paul, actress, manifestation expert, and mindset coach. And I'm here to share with you all of my secrets on confidence, success, and the magic of manifestation. If you're ready to dive in deep and see more success in your career, more money in your bank account, and more love in your life with a whole new level of freedom, then you're in the right place. I'm letting loose on everything you need to take back control of your life, up-level your mindset, and tap into your manifestation powers. I'm so excited that you're here. Hello, you beautiful souls, and welcome back to the podcast. It is I, Jess Paul, here to help you manifest your next level life. And if you're new to the podcast, hey, welcome to the community. So lovely to have you here. Guys, happy freaking new year. It's 2022. And this year is going to be the best year of your fucking life. At least that is how you need to enter into the year thinking, because your thoughts create your reality. So, if you believe it's going to be the best freaking year of your life, then that's what it will be. So that's how we all want to be. That's how we all want to be thinking right now. So guys, in today's episode, the first episode of 2022, I want to talk to you about why I spent this New Year's Eve on my own this year, why I chose to spend it on my own this year. This episode is, right, because here's the thing, guys. I have set a few goals for myself on this podcast for 2022, and one of them is to let go of a lot of my ego self, because I still get my ego self, like, I'm going to be honest with you, still get my ego self creeping in on this podcast. I mean, I only just started it recently, so I have to be freaking kind to myself. But, sometimes I sit down and I'm like, am I going to be talking about what my audience really want to hear? And the thing is, if I'm thinking that, then I'm not being truly authentic. So basically, one of my goals for this year is to get fucking real with you all, like really real with you all, so that you can come on this journey with me and that we can ascend and reach a new freaking level together, right? Because what's the point otherwise? Like, we all want to be authentic. And sometimes when I come onto this podcast, because obviously there's like so many of these podcasts out there as well, and I'm sure you all listen to other personal development podcasts and mindset and manifestation podcast, but this is mine, and I do things my way, and I'm fucking proud of that. So I want to open up a lot more. So here we go. So this is like my goal for this year. Anyway, so guys, that's why I want to talk to you about why I spent this New Year's Eve on my own. And this also is going to be a really spiritual episode for all of my practical babes out there who maybe listen to this podcast and know me, and you really get the mindset side of stuff, and you use that for your manifestation practice. You use that for your manifestation practice. Fantastic. But we want to start talking about like a whole new level of consciousness, and that's what I'm going to be chatting about, because this, when you step into your spiritual side and really open this up within you, you like, the manifestation process becomes so fucking amazing, like so exciting. And obviously, moving into 2022, I'm going to reach a whole new level of consciousness. I'm already doing that, and so I'm going to talk to you about it, because I just said my goal is to be real with you all. But I will also be real in saying that when I started my manifestation journey, and when I first started manifesting, like I wasn't really, I wasn't like that yogi person that would like go and meditate every day and whatever. Like, I came at it from a really practical masculine mindset point of view, right? That's how I started, okay? Just this 4D mindset work where I am really working on being more positive and speaking these things into existence, right? That's where I started, and it's only like over the past 2 years where I've really opened up a new level of consciousness for myself, and I've started accessing another dimension and just feeling freaking so in touch with my spiritual side. So firstly, like, if you're not that spiritual right now, if you still find it a bit woo-woo, or you're just starting your journey, like, don't worry. It's fine. Like, there is no right or wrong on this journey. There's no right. You literally cannot be wrong on your spiritual journey, because it's so freaking unique to you. So anyway, guys, let's actually get into what I'm talking about. So I chose to spend New Year's Eve on my own this year. Now, New Year's Eve is a time where everybody goes out and celebrates. Fantastic. You know, you get drunk with your friends, you see it, you like, there's fireworks, you see the new year in. It's like a big night out, right? Which is amazing. But I had a download about a week beforehand, and it was like, Jess, you need to be alone moving into 2022. And at first I was a little bit like, do I want to do that? Like, because for basically, guys, again, getting real, for so many years of my life, I have felt lonely, so freaking lonely, like this impending loneliness that followed me around everywhere. Even when I was around people, even when I was with my ex-partner and, like, you know, with him, we spent every single day together. Even at our happiest moments, when I felt so connected to him, I still felt this loneliness. And it was just this feeling that nobody really gets me. Like, nobody really understands where I'm coming from. I'm like an outcast. And if you're feeling this way right now and you're relating to this, fantastic. I'm so glad you're listening because this is such a freaking common thing before you step into your spiritual side. This is such a common theme, right? Because really what it is, it's your higher self telling you, you need to find yourself. You need to step into who you truly are. And that's why you feel that loneliness. It's like this sense of you're not really at home. And guys, like, even for those of you that are more awake, maybe you've been doing this work, maybe you've even, like, been through my academy and you've worked with me before, and, like, you are feeling like you get this more. You can still feel this too. It's so freaking normal to feel it. I feel it whenever I'm about to move into another level of consciousness. I feel it. There's this loneliness again. However, this year, 2021 was the first year in my life, guys, where I did not feel lonely. And you notice it the most on those big occasions, let's say like your birthday or Christmas or New Year, where they're usually the times of biggest reflection, where you're thinking, okay, how many friends actually wish me a happy birthday this year? How many people text me? How many people were there for me? And again, like I said, in my life, I always felt like, even though I had friends around me, because listen, like, I've got like some of the best friends ever, and they've been my friends for years, but even still, like, it felt like I was so lonely. And but however, this year for me was a confirmation that, and it was also a confirmation because I pulled the same card 3 times. I'll tell you about that in a bit on my oracle deck. But it was a confirmation for me that I had come home where I was supposed to be, because I did not feel lonely in these moments. And, you know, again, especially for Christmas can be a triggering time for a lot of us. For me, it's a triggering time. Also because, you know, for my ex-partner, he left me around that time 2 years ago. And we also met around the Christmas time. So it was kind of related Christmas to him. This year, 2021, was the first Christmas in my life where I did not even think of him. The only time he came into my mind was when I was thinking, I'm not thinking of him. But it really, like, again, I'm trying to find the words to describe it. I just felt so, like, I felt like I had 1,000 people around me. Like, I was surrounded by love, and I was just on my own. And that is a confirmation that shows you that you really have found that love in you, and you don't need anybody else. And I think a lot of the time we can kid ourselves, right? And we don't want to address things. And I think I've done my fair share of addressing things over the past 2 years. And this has now led me into 2022 being like, do you know what? I want more. I want more from my spiritual side. So like I said, I had a download in fact, it was only like 3 days before New Year. Because a couple of people asked me, what you doing? And I kind of said, I think I'm spending it with my family, because at the time I thought I was. And then I had a download about 3 days beforehand to be like, no, you're doing this alone this year. And you're gonna fucking love it. And so that's what I did. So I got in some really nice food, prepped it, spent that feminine time over that, enjoyed it. I really didn't drink that much. I had like a beer. There's one thing about me, like I do like a good beer. It's the northern part of me. And like I had like a beer when I was making my pasta bake. And that's all I really wanted. And I just really lent into everything that I wanted to do that evening. I did a massive meditation. And again, actually, this, for those of you that maybe did spend New Year's Eve alone, whether you chose to or not, maybe COVID had a say in things as well. You might be able to relate to this too, but I prepped my environment. Like I just basically just lent into everything that I wanted to fucking do. And I did a massive meditation, which really for me was, again, reaching another level of consciousness. I was choosing to open up my third eye. I was basically, we can go into more about this, but basically I did this whole meditation, guys, and it was magical. Like I had like billions of downloads in that time. Things that I want to create for 2022. I saw my future self. She was on set. She was wearing a fucking cool outfit. Literally saw my future self. And I also had another big download to tell me to ground myself more. If I really want to reach another level of consciousness, you have to be grounded. And that means working on your root chakra. That means like really working. And again, from a mindset perspective, that means that you have to really think about how safe and secure you feel. Because if you want to reach another level in your life, in your business, in your career, in anything, then you have to feel grounded. And actually, I'm an air sign. I sometimes can be a bit up in the air, a bit emotional. And like for me, I have to work at my grounding. So I use grounding crystals as well. This is why I've been so drawn to smoky quartz this year. And the download basically said, like, Jess, ground yourself first and it's all coming to you. So these are some of the things that happened for me for my new year. And I just thought, you know what, like I can go out and I can get drunk with my friends anytime, but this one felt different. You know, maybe next year, next New Year, I'll be who knows where I'll be? Who knows who I'll be celebrating it with? But this year for me felt so different. So just ask yourself, guys, like, was your New Year how you wanted to spend it? Because it's funny because I 2 years ago, I remember, this is actually when my partner left me, but I remember that New Year, I went to a party that my higher self knew I did not want to go to, but I went because I didn't want to feel like I was on my own. I didn't want to feel lonely, and I didn't want to feel like that sad person that was spending it on my own. And, you know, everybody else had plans and was going out and having fun, and I just didn't want to be that person that was alone. And I went to this party, hardly knew anybody, and I remember just feeling so shit moving into the year, so shit. And that vibration was basically what I then moved in. My ex-partner left me. I was then in this like downward spiral, and I had to pick myself out of that. And you guys have heard my story and how I did that. And, you know, this is what I'm teaching you to do as well. But that was because I really did not listen to what my higher self wanted in that moment. I didn't listen to my intuition. I just went and did something out of fear. out of fear of missing out, you know? And so you just want to ask yourself that question, because really this episode now is your sign. It's your opportunity in listening to this to start reaching another level of consciousness yourself. And when we step into this other level, so into this like 5D, this fifth dimension, really what that's about, after doing all the mindset work, is about asking yourself, am I leaning into love? Am I making the most loving decision for myself right now? Is this actually what my higher self wants? Right? One of the best questions to ask yourself, and this is something that I want you to go off and start doing as your homework, just ask yourself this one question. Am I making this decision out of love or fear? It's such a simple question to ask yourself, and literally anything that you do, right? Obviously I'm talking about New Year's Eve for me, and I made that decision out of love, right? That's what my higher self wanted. That's what my intuition was telling me I needed to do, and that's what I did. And that's why I had the best New Year, I think, of my life. And that sounds dramatic, but it's so fucking true, right? But even in like the smallest things, like, am I going to the gym? Is this out of love or fear? Is this out of love for myself and my body, or is this out of fear that I don't look perfect? Right? Again, guys, I will go into so many podcast episodes about my own journey on my body and how I felt about my body, because I made so many decisions out of fear around that. But, you know, anything. Am I going for this coffee out of love and fear? Am I meeting this friend out of love or fear? You know, am I don't know, going for this walk out of love or fear? Like, it sounds crazy, but everything that you do, every decision that you make in life, ask yourself that question before you do it. Because the more you can be leaning into love, the more you're actually leaning into that fifth dimension. The more you're paying attention to your higher self and what your higher self wants. And when you do that, everything opens up for you, right? As I said before, as I've said a lot, you know, I was just talking about my meditation and what I discovered there, and some of the downloads that came through to me. They only came through because I chose to do what I did this year. You know, if I'd gone out, or if I'd maybe spent it with my family, which is what I was going to do originally, I was just going to go around with my family, I might have been so overwhelmed with the energies of that space that I wouldn't have accessed these stuff for myself. I wouldn't have had these downloads. And it's these downloads that are taking you to the next step, that are taking you to that next level. So really, it's paying attention to how to make the right decision for your manifestations to come in. I already feel like I've manifested things. Like, again, since doing that meditation and bringing in the new, like, seeing the new year in, seeing 2022 in on my own, I've, like, my angel number 44 is following me again. And again, I'll do a whole episode on angel numbers for you. This 44 is following me again, and 44 means you are so fucking successful. The only person in your way is you. The only thing in your way is you. And do you know what? I actually keep reminding myself that. I've been affirming that for myself. The only person in my way is me. And helping me get through, because when 44 comes up for me all the time, like I said, I feel like I can't go into it right now because there's so much I want to say on angel numbers, but 44 is my number that I know something big is about to manifest. I had it when I got my TV gig, when I got that call from my agent to say you're going to be on set with James Corden. I got it then. I got it when I first made like my first like 30k month. I got it then. Like, when 44 comes up for me, I just know something big is about to happen. And that might not have come up for me. This, you know, these things might not be happening now if I hadn't have lent into that decision that I made to spend New Year on my own. So, again, relating it back to you guys and actually helping you make a practical step with this, and, you know, giving you a bit of strategy, because that's what I'm here for. Just ask yourself that question. Am I making this decision out of love or fear? And I think also, just to say on all of this that if you have been making decisions out of fear, let's say maybe even for like you're listening to my story now and you're thinking, oh, for like when I brought New Year in, I spent it with the wrong people. I didn't want to be doing that either. Like, damn it, why did I do that? Right? Be kind to yourself. Because actually I had a conversation with one of my friends about this literally yesterday. And they said, and I said, oh, how was your New Year? And they were like, well, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. And I was like, oh, so just a bit meh then. And they were like, yeah, that's how it felt. And I was like, did your intuition tell you to go to that party? And he was like, no, I don't think it did actually. I said, well, there you go. But the thing is that when you do make these decisions and you feel that way, like my friend did around New Year, it's actually great. It's a really good thing. So don't beat yourself up, because what it does is it brings you clarity. And clarity is the thing that we all are searching for. It's literally why we're on this freaking planet. It's to find more and more clarity. It's to expand more and more and more. So if you have been making decisions out of fear and you've been walking away feeling energetically drained, or even just kind of feeling a little bit of regret for how you chose to spend that moment, don't worry. Don't regret it. It was all there. It was all supposed to happen. It was all supposed to happen for your clarity. But moving forward, just allow yourself to ask that question and lean into the most loving thing for you. This year, moving into 2022, this was the most fucking loving thing I think I've ever done for myself. You know, my mum even texted me and she was like, I'm so sorry you're not here with all of us. And I was just like, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry at all. I love you to bits, but this is what my higher self wanted. And like I said, I've just come into this new year feeling so refreshed, and you can too, is the message for this podcast. You can too. So, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Like I said, 2022 is going to be, for this podcast, my goals for the podcast is to be so fucking real with you, is to just speak exactly what is on my mind, is to go deep into how I feel so that you can relate, as well as giving you all of that practical, amazing strategy to help you manifest the life of your dreams. That's what I'm here for. And as always, like I say, firstly, if you like this episode, please do, tag me on your Instagram stories, take a screenshot, tag me at I am Jessica Paul, because the more you push me out there, the more inspiration it gives me to keep going with this, and to know that it is helping and you are relating in some way is powerful. And I just want to reach as many people as I can with this, because like I said, like how I've changed over the past 2 or 3 years myself has been so incredible. And I want everybody to be able to feel that, because you can. The dark places that I used to be in, really, you don't have to be in them forever. And so, yeah, like I said, share this with someone that you know needs to hear it, basically, and spread the love. And I'm going to be moving into the new year with so much, because I'm just so full of inspiration now. But let me know what you want to hear. Let me know if I've touched upon anything that you want me to expand upon, or you've got like burning questions you want to ask me. Just drop me a DM on Instagram. Like, I'm literally always on there. I'm always talking to you all. I've already had a few messages from you all to say like, oh, can you explain this, or can you go into this? And so I've got some episodes lined up, but just let me know. Just chat to me. Like, I am here. I am a human being. I'm here, and I'm here for you all. So have fun making 2022 the best fucking year of your life. Step up, reach a new level of consciousness. Do whatever the fuck you need to do, because nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong on your spiritual journey. So have fucking fun with it. And stay connected, stay in touch. Come follow me on Instagram. Come follow me on Facebook, get inside the Facebook community. All of the links will be tagged in the show notes as usual. And I will see you all next week for another podcast episode. Lots of love, guys. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend who you think would love it too. And if you want to let me know how you found it, just screenshot this episode, add it to your Instagram story, and tag me at I am Jessica Paul so that I can throw all the love right back at you. And of course, subscribe, hit those 5 stars, and leave a review to show your support and to keep the good stuff coming. Sending you so much love and gratitude from your girl Jess.